This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin Hoffman.
Well, good day, everyone, and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Hoffman. Today's Friday, April the 12th, 2024. So glad you could come along with us here today. Coming up a little later on in the program, we are going to hear from the USDA about some money that's being invested, and also we're going to hear about the wine industry in Iowa. That's all coming up. But first, let's go ahead and run down the markets. It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net. Well, we're at the end of the trading day for the week, in fact, and we're talking right now with Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. And Curt, we're one day post WASDE. Did we see anything major happen in those grain markets today?
Oh, boy, it was excitement right out of the chute earlier this morning, just uncertainty around the world, some short covering. That first hour, boy, we had beans up almost 20 cents, corn up 8, 9. Green light was on. Quite a bit of buying interest. As we went through the day, things kind of died down a little bit, pulled back. But funds bought about 4,200 contracts of wheat, 10,200 contracts of corn, and about 7,200 contracts of soybeans going in to midday. They're short the market. I imagine they covered some shorts, also rolling some of these short positions out. They like to trade the front end, so I imagine we saw quite a bit of that. So it was a nice early start. We were able to kind of hold in there and close higher for the day. Takeaway from the crop report, still debating on the South American crop. The U.S. numbers are generous compared to the South American numbers. And as of right now, the U.S. numbers are going to kind of dictate as we move a little further along in through here. Brazil's about 82% harvested. So you would think that we would see, some more estimates, a little bit more accurate. A year ago, it took a little time to get that Argentine short crop dialed in. The corn difference is about 14 million metric tons, the Brazilian versus U.S. number. Soybeans is about 8.5 million metric tons difference on that. So they'll continue to talk about that. But the thing is, cash basis is starting to firm up. Cash bids firming up in South America as their harvest starts to wind down. Thursday's weekly export sales report was poor, but we did see 124,000 ton sale beans to unknown destination. So hopefully we moved low enough in through here to stimulate some export interest as we move forward. One other thing that's kind of at the bottom of the news wire, kind of got covered up by the reports, was China's kind of canceling some of these Ukrainian corn purchases they had. And the significance of that is they might not be comfortable getting corn out of that area. Well, they may know that some of that region is going to light up a little bit here. And light up, Iran, that's a real concern here. We'll continue to monitor that. That's why gold's been going through the roof, and the energy market has been extremely hot. Weather-wise, locally here, we've been kind of fortunate. We've been receiving rain, but we don't have a whole lot of big puddles. But you don't have to go far outside of central Illinois. You move east, there's some pretty good ponds setting out there. So it's nice to see some moisture. The tiles are flowing. Here locally, we're supposed to be in the mid-70s with pretty good wind, as we've been seeing here all spring. And so I think maybe here by first part of next week, see a little bit more activity. Got a few beans coming out of the ground that was put in 3 weeks ago. So those guys have a little relief after a couple of times that didn't work very well in the past, a little too early. Technical-wise, corn last night's low was reversed up, closed higher, pretty good. But today we ran into that pesky downtrend line, those moving averages. So technically, even though May corn finished up about a penny and a quarter for the week, you got to kind of take out this week's highs to get something going. These corn not quite as strong for the week, but, it had a nice little hook reversal up too. So take a peek at the charts. We're still in that sideways range, but there's a little hope there. Soybeans finished down 11 cents for the week. They had a nice little reversal. today. Last night traded lower, closed up here today. Once again, ran into that downtrend resistance line, moving averages. So if we can pop those out, maybe we can get some technical buying to come in and give the market a little bit more up. Wheat was down 11.25 for the week. It's the same thing, kind of ran resistance, but the overall trend's trying to remain higher here, remain in this trading channel. Main thing, front and center next week, of course, be weather. There's some areas going along the Mississippi eastward or westward. As you get east, it's going to be a while to dry out. But we're still early, so we'll see how that weather map unfolds as we move forward here, Dustin.
All right, well, then sending it over to the livestock side of the marketplace, cattle and hogs, how'd they fare to the end of the week?
Well, technically the cattle market felt it's $4.50 off the high, but it only finished 50 cents lower on the week up front. Hogs, they finished down 582 on the week for the front end. The hogs, the main concerns, we had a daily key price reversal down. We came in here strong midweek and finished lower, and the weekly charts lower, down over $5, $5.80 on the chart there. So it's kind of sloppy. This livestock market's kind of treading some water in through here. More talk about bird flu, but actually the public's taking it quite well, and the media's hanging in there with their comments. So we got to continue to watch that. The cutouts, the loins 97 at the wholesale, hams 92, bellies backed off here, back closer to $1 a pound. That's the bacon there. So cookout featuring's going to start taking off here. We still got ways to Memorial Day weekend holiday, but I have a feeling people are wanting to get the cookers going here, Dustin.
Well, speaking for me, I go all winter long, so there's no off season for me. But yeah, definitely starting to see more of them pop up in the neighborhood. Curt, a lot of great information for us here today. If people want to get in touch with agmarket.net, they're going to get some ideas of what they should be thinking about. How do they do that?
1-800-779-1515. Agmarket.net. Click on Intel. A couple of reasons you need to take a peek at that. One is they've got a takeaway from the reports we saw here on Thursday. Then also, too, it's got some catch-up hedging recommendations if you're a little behind on that.
All right. Well, Curt, thanks so much for the insight. We'll talk to you again next week.
You bet. Take care.
That again was Curt Kimmel of agmarket.net. Let's take a look at the closing numbers on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network market screen. May corn was up 6 3/4 at 435.5. December new crop was up 6. That was at 472 even. Soybeans for May up 14 3/4 at 1174 even. November new crop up 12 cents at 1176 1/4. Soy meal up $8.80 at 344.40. Soy oil down 13 cents at 45.89. Chicago wheat up 4 1/4 at 556 even. Kansas wheat up 6 1/2 at 589 3/4. Minneapolis wheat up 5 3/4 at 642 3/4. And oats up 3 3/4 at 351 1/2. On the Merck live cattle were down $1.35 at 178.90. April feeders were $1.57 lower at 237.60. Lean hogs down $3.42 at 93.87. Pork cutouts down $3.17 at 101.25. And Class 3 milk up 3 cents at 15.43. And that's been the Ag Market Recap. We're going to take a short break and hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association, with the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, run down a few headlines. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to AMPM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Well, the USDA Forest Service today announced it's issuing more than $232 million to support public schools, roads, and municipal services through the Secure Rural Schools program. U.S. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack said today that national forests and grasslands make up more than 193 million U.S. acres, and rural counties that are in those areas are important partners to help sustainably manage those resources. Forest Service Chief Randy Moore says that the Secure Rural Schools program is just one way the Forest Service supports communities nationwide. through the funding of schools, roads, and reimbursing counties for National Forest emergency services and assisting in creating community wildfire protection plans. All critical programs to enhance the quality of life in those communities. Elsewhere, the newly named director of the Midwest Grape and Wine Industry Institute brings nearly a decade of experience to the position. Aaron Norton has been with the group since 2015 and was recently named the leader in 2024 here in March. In the new role, she'll oversee 4 employees and 4 student employees with the goal of educating and improving Iowa's wine industry. Norton says that their mission is to help the grape and wine industry in the Midwest through research, education, and lab services, and do all of that in the hopes of finding and figuring out which varieties of grapes will be successful in Iowa and in the multi-state region. The Midwest Grape and Wine Industry Institute is part of the Iowa State University Extension and Outreach Program and is located within the Food Science Building at Iowa State University in Ames. And that's been a couple of our headlines here today, and that brings us to the end of today's program. You can find all our content online at iowaagnet.com. Follow us on Facebook, X, LinkedIn, and on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified each time we put out a new video product. Also, don't forget you can get free market analysis sent to your mobile device 3 times daily through the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network Market Podcasts. You can sign up through them through Google, Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and Podbean, and find replays online along with replays of Ag Matters PM, Iowa Ag Matters, and Weekend Ag Matters, all at iowaagnet.com. At the IRN studios in Des Moines, I'm Dustin Huffman. For Riley Smith, Andy Peterson, and Mark Magnuson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.